Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your mid-November general spread. We're just going to look into the general themes and expand a little bit from there. But if you want a personal reading, I'll leave my information below. But let's get into this. As I put these down, I was like, what the heck is going on? And I'm kind of glad I did. And I just kind of sat here and looked at them. And I'm seeing a few, it feels like unweaving a few different aspects of your life that you're dealing with. And it feels very appropriate for Scorpio season, which is like major, I don't know, it feels like things that are shifting and changing. I mean, we have these beautiful eclipses coming up. To me, they actually feel, I know they're potent, they feel much more potent. I feel the end of this year. I mean, I'm seeing like the end of your trip around this cycle around the sun with your birthday kind of coming to a close and wrapping up a lot of things that have kept you stagnant. What I'm really drawn to at first is this Four of Cups, Three of Swords. Three of Swords is what your higher self, subconscious, is letting you know you're working through. And this is kind of, again, the path of the heart is the path of truth, in my opinion. And it's crossed here by these swords. And this is telling me it's lingering from a past experience that wasn't so fulfilling in matters of the heart or matters of fulfillment. Whether this is work, whether this is relationships, it's going to be different for everybody, or it can be both at the same time. It's definitely telling me there's a new opportunity coming in, but with the central energy being the Two of Pentacles, it's talking about kind of weighing your options and kind of coming into a true place of clarity. It's a lot of like, yes, thinking, but like knowing before you move forward. And with the Hierophant here, it's either, a new contract work-wise or a new relationship kind of presenting itself. And I don't know if you're feeling like I'm not quite ready to open that door yet, or is this right for me? It feels, again, kind of somewhere in between, especially if you've been single for a long time. I'm seeing that, you kind of enjoy being here. Even if like there's parts of you that don't, it's almost like I'm wanting something that improves upon the silence of my own world, right? I'm wanting to avoid anything that feels disharmonious or not for me. So it feels like a little bit more cautious is the feeling that I'm getting. In the near future being the Hermit card. So this is Virgo, obviously, but more so it's kind of this, it's appropriate for the season. I mean, Northern Hemisphere, we're in winter, and it's talking about, the spiritual path that you've been on. And it's kind of moving through the unknown he has this star in his lantern towards essentially what you truly want and desire. I feel this need to open this heart space to kind of live in it feels like a place where everything is possible, like miracles happen every day. Why not one for me? And instead of kind of having these, again, the swords feel like mistrust to me, whether it's a person, whether it's the world, whether it's yourself. I mean, that's what it all kind of circles back to, or spirit. And it feels like kind of a time for reflection. We only have a few more days until we are into your season, into Sagittarius season. I think we are all looking forward to it. I don't know, something about this Scorpio season has felt like a little bit of a doozy. And it's showing up. I mean, the overarching theme is the Death card. It's essentially letting everything fall away that is not aligned with you anymore. And with that Hermit kind of there, it's saying you've kind of spiritually ascended to a place where things are falling away. They might feel, it might feel heavy. It might feel like I don't know what to trust. I don't know what decision to make. I don't know who is true. Because some of you could definitely even be dealing with two people. That's only for a few of you, obviously. It's not going to be for everybody. But when I'm seeing that juggling energy and kind of crossed in the heart, closed off in the heart, and needing to kind of make this commitment. It could even be 2 work scenarios. And if it hasn't come in, I feel like that opportunity is open should you be beginning to put out your resume. Again, wrapping things up. I don't feel like anything is changing this, I mean, what are we talking, 15 days? It's not this long prediction. I'm just looking at the cards, and of course there's always free will. You can always change this, but I'm seeing like a lot of reflection. There's clearly a walking away from something, but thinking before you make the leap. And it's saying it's time to change. So it's not doing this to you, it's doing this for you. The energy here is doing it for you to kind of align you again with this path of the heart. So if you have any doubt here, it's really calling you to eliminate that. And that's, again, your first angel card that showed up for you. And it says Heart Song. What is your heart saying? Stop and listen. Your truth lies within the empty spaces between your thoughts. Your truth shines through from within your soul. Your truth is that which is eternal and unchanging. Your truth is love. And we have surrender, the unknown. I mean, clearly there are all these signs that there's this new beginning, this new door opening up. It feels like just the beginning though, but I feel like the anxiety of it, the impendingness of it, if that's even a word, it's very tangible. It can be felt energetically. And I'm being drawn to this achievement card because, again, it feels like this wrapping up energy. Take a little time to reflect on what you achieved to date. It's often easy to forget where you started from and how far you've come. Honor and be grateful for this extraordinary journey that is your life. Yeah, a few months ago, I was kind of experiencing a lot of anxiety. I just move around a lot. So when something doesn't work out, it's like, oh, it kind of throws me off a little bit. And that's kind of what this feels like. And one of my tools that I was using then at the time was gratitude. So I'd allow myself to feel my feels. And then I just kind of catch myself. It's like, okay, this is a little bit of a loop that you're in. Let's kind of focus on things that are working out or things that you're grateful for or honoring yourself in some sort of way. And because I'm seeing this rest card, I mean, you guys are fire. So I feel like a lot of your success comes from doing action. And to me, this is saying, kind of it's a time for rest. And this is also an action in a different way, though. It might seem like action, but it's a conscious decision to just kind of wait until things kind of become very clear. And again, Scorpio season, it's telling me it's unclear yet what choice or decision you're going to make. So again, my kind of mantra in life, if it's not a really loud yes, it's a no for now. So wait until something's like a really loud yes. There was something, I think it was a podcast by Aubrey Marcus. I don't know if any of you guys listen to him. He has some nice messages sometimes that I enjoy listening to. But I hadn't listened to him for a while, and I listened to one podcast, and he was talking about meeting his wife, and before meeting her, he was talking to some friends, and one of his friends said something to the extent of, when you meet them, it's going to be a loud, vibrant, unanimous F yes. He's like, oh, come on, how is it ever a loud F yes? There's so many components, blah, 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 until he met his partner. And when they did, it was a loud F yes. And he was talking about, kind of reflecting on that feeling. That's what I'm kind of looking at in this reading that kind of just popped into my mind. When kind of making decisions, especially kind of coming into your birthday, it feels that's quite significant. And I'm seeing the action of making a wish and getting really clear about what that is. From now up until then, I feel like that's the only thing you kind of need to do. And it's not about kind of pressing on and forging forward. It's kind of relaxing, making maybe a little bit more time to meditate, to manifest, to really kind of get into the feelings of what you'd like to feel in this next, again, trip around the sun, or really it feels like a new experience, a new journey in life with the Hermit here. All I can say, though, it's interesting, as I've gone through all the signs for this mid-month, and you guys are kind of towards the end, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit late. It's interesting, all of the energy is very much the same. I probably could have just done one collective reading, although I doubt many people would just listen to that and take it to heart. But I feel like absolutely we're kind of all here. So if you're needing support, I would highly recommend reaching out to a friend and kind of talking about these things. What are you trying to open up to? I mean, or even taking kind of like a group meeting, class type of thing. I don't know where I am. There's all sorts of stuff like that in Mexico. Lots of expats meeting up to do manifestation, I don't know, circles. I don't know what they talk about. Women's circles. I mean, anything you're really drawn to. Where it kind of cements this and helps clarify. I feel like, conversation between other people. I love to talk about my dreams with my friends because then they give me feedback and like, oh yeah, you'd be good at that. Or they'll add something or like, what about this? Have you thought about that? Even if we're talking about people specifically, what do you think about this person? This is how I feel about them, and helping you kind of navigate this, because I'm feeling this a little bit lonely energy, which is fine. But it does feel like you're breaking from the past in some kind of way. So there's definitely some major transition here, and it does feel, fives are very uncomfortable. So if you're feeling alone and uncomfortable, especially these days, I feel like we're all kind of yearning for connection. Be the person that takes the lead here. And this is King of Swords, the Emperor. This is, communication with the King of Swords here. Clear communication, getting very clear about what you want. And using, the Emperor is wise. He uses all his tools. He knows how to consult people to essentially, rule his life, yes, but make the best decisions for everybody involved, especially if you're dealing with somebody else here, which is kind of what I'm getting. Or your decisions affect other people, like family, for example. Okay, so I did pull a Starseed Oracle that I'd like to read, and it's Forge, don't follow. Pave a new path. Be the leader you wish you had. Yeah, and this Emperor is in the position of the energy that the universe is giving you. For me as a reader, I read a little bit differently. So the Emperor is definitely that fiery energy that kind of makes decisions. Again, it's the best decision for everybody involved. And when I say that, the best decision for everybody involved goes back to the best decision for you, because when you're happy, that energy spreads to everyone you know, right? On some level here. Okay, let me read this. If you wait until the path is perfectly paved, you won't be forging your own path, and you'll likely not even take the first step. Don't let a small detail like being unable to find someone to show you the way be the reason you don't step forward and lead. Let it be the reason that you do. The most courageous and needed leaders are the ones who didn't wait for permission or until the morning they wake up feeling ready. They take the deep breath, put one foot in front of the other, and figure it out as they go. They don't wait for someone to lead them, they lead themselves. This is a card for leaders. You're here to pave a path that hasn't been walked before, to go first and lead the way for others who are calling you in. If you feel misrepresented in the media, step forward for all of those who also feel misrepresented. If no one's speaking out on the topics you feel passionate about, share your unique voice. There's no one on earth who comes close to possessing your unique combination of skills, gifts, and life experience. Don't look to those who have come before you to work out your path. Leaders must forge their own. Do it for your daughter. Do it for the younger you. Do it for the leaders who will follow. When you go first, you make it easier for others to follow your lead. Forge, don't follow. Ooh, how can you be the leader you wish you had? I think we're all feeling this right now. We're all wanting major changes on some level. I feel like it's kind of like a breaking point. Enough is enough, right? And a lot of us are kind of feeling the call. To me, the most powerful thing you can do is the baby steps in your own life first. The small conversations in your own life first. Creating harmony in your own life first. Creating harmony in your heart first, though. I feel like it's a time to be humble. It's a time to be kind to others. A time to know that you know nothing. Even if you think you do. On a grand, grand, grand scale, you know nothing. And asking to be led. There's a surrender here, and there's like this great mystery unknown. You don't know. Be okay with the unknowing. This is where the alchemy exists. This is the sweet spot. This is where everything is kind of birthed from, right? It's beautiful. All right, I think I'm going to end it here, Sagittarius, but if you want specific questions answered, again, I'll leave my information below. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for your support. I read all your comments, and thank you for all the subscriptions and you know, keeping up to date. I really appreciate it. So I'll leave this here for now, and I'll be back soon with another reading. Thanks, Sagittarius.